Tonight, we gather together in support of equality, social justice, freedom of religion, and freedom of speech. At Sleik, we embrace unity, peace, respect, safety, and dignity for all. At this time, we ask you to please rise and join our Central Catholic band with the playing of our national anthem. The OSAA requests that you model good sportsmanship by refraining from derogatory cheers, chants, or behavior toward students, coaches, officials, or other spectators. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, age, color, national origin, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion will not be tolerated. Such conduct may subject violating the removed from the stance and result in penalties assessed against their career. Any spectator removed from this event may be banned from attending future response to events. Speak out when you see inappropriate behavior by immediately notifying event management staff. The OSAA and Central Catholic are committed to a welcoming environment that promotes fair play and respect for all, and expect the same for each of you here tonight. We request your cooperation in supporting the participants and officials in a positive act. Together, we can provide a safe and respectful environment for all. Referee indicates Nelson has working pass and looking to receive. Moving from east to west, that's right to left, on the west-hand side. We want to say a special welcome to the nearly 100 students joining us tonight from our partner grade and middle schools. Whether you are here with our football team or are cheering alongside our cheer and song teams, we're so glad you're here, experiencing what it means to be a member of the winner.
Welcome into Hillsboro Stadium as we get ready for Game 6 of the 2024 season. The tag team duo of James Broadous and Bryan Sleik back on the call tonight as Central Catholic hosts the Adrian C. Nelson Hawks. And what some are saying, this could be the battle for the Mount Hood Conference. The Hawks currently sit at 4-1 overall, 3-0 in the Mount Hood Conference. Central Catholic, on the other hand, they're 5-0, 3-0 in the Mount Hood Conference. And with the Rams beating Clackamas a couple weeks ago, that really sets up for this duo. And the winner could take over the Mount Hood Conference. And that's been a goal for Nelson since they've become a program.
Right, and this looks like the team, the year that they could do it. If of any year, this could be the year. They have an amazing starting quarterback that I'm really interested in seeing play.
Leary and Boria back to receive it, and Leary will take it in the end zone for a touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks as they take over at the 20-yard line.
You know, and then we finally get an opportunity to see this offense. This offense has been high-powered. You know, Avery Dirdahl, last game, 514 yards passing, 6 touchdowns. I need to see this with my own eyes.
That 514 yards you're talking about is 9th all-time in a 6A game in Oregon State history. Those 6 touchdowns were also to 6 different receivers, so he spreads the ball around. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers on the near side. Dirdahl looks over at his sideline and resets. It's QB keeper up the middle. Now breaks out to the right side, past the numbers, and taken down near the 26-yard line. Looked like Brenner was in on the tackle. Dirdahl will have a pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
So it looks like they're trying to show off already that Dirdahl can actually run the ball as well. We already know, we talked a little bit about his throwing. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of his arm today. They said that he can throw the ball 80 yards, but now we're looking at his legs right here.
Running back in motion, Dirdahl alone in the backfield. Rush coming up to him and overthrows his intended receiver. And Easton Ivalia. It'll be 3rd and 4.
He was under duress right there. You know, no matter how good your quarterback is, no matter what type of arm he has, he can throw the ball 80, he can throw the ball 100 yards. If you don't have time back there, it's not going to be of any use. And right there, the Rams won that line of scrimmage battle and had Dirdahl on his back.
This offensive line should be busy today. Tavares DeRost, Matthew Fabianchuk, Jackson Leopold, Hayden Aldinger, and Carson Lowry are the offensive linemen. A strike over the middle at the 32-yard line. And it looks like Donnie Vercher was in on the tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 now from the 32-yard line for Nelson.
That was a good route right there. Berea, he ran his route 1 yard behind the chains to make sure he gets that 1st down. Nice strike right there, and 1st down. Keep the drive alive.
Crossland is the running back behind Dirdahl. Hand off to Crossland. Shakes one tackle up the middle. Good gain on 1st down. Pickup of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, nice little draw play right up the middle. You know, the Rams have had success all year long controlling the line of scrimmage. And right there, the Hawks got the best of them and a nice gain on 1st down.
Boria is the receiver on the near side along with Ivalia. Tight end in motion. In Nix. Hand off to Crossland. Bursts through the first line, has the 1st down, and he's met by a pack of Rams at the 45-yard line. So Nelson, a couple of 1st downs here on their 1st drive, and this offense is making its way down the field.
It is. If you want to build confidence, I mean, you're playing against a giant right now. You're playing against the Central Catholic Rams. These are the giants of the Mount Hood Conference, pretty much a giant in the state of Oregon as far as football goes. And if you really want to show them that you're here to play, this 1st drive is the way to do it.
I talked to Aaron Hazel earlier in this week, and he talked about the mystique that is Central Catholic, and talking to his team, says, hey, we have to focus on just the 11 guys on the field right now. It's Dirdahl, big opening on the right side. He's past the 40-yard line, and he's chased down from behind by Cole Thomas and out of bounds at the 28-yard line. And I think we might get a late hit flag here, as a flag was thrown in near the out-of-bounds marker.
You know, that's Demarion Gates. He's coming over. He's trying to make a big play. and he might have just hit Dirtall a little bit too late as he was going out of bounds.
2 big runs for Dirtall already. That one, no doubt, was one of those explosive plays. But as I was saying, the mystique that was Central Catholic is, hey, guys, there's only 11 of them on the field. This is who we have to focus on. Don't focus on the fact that they've won 28 straight conference games, all right? That's not important. He said they watch a lot of Ted Lasso before practices as well. You know, got to have that believe sign up there. But they were thinking about what happened last year for their program. They beat Central Catholic on the freshman level, on the JV level, and they're feeling confident going into this matchup this year. And, hey, maybe they can make some noise against the Rams and finally take them down.
Well, they're making some noise right here, and this is some loud noise right here on this first drive.
That'll be 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Crossland to the left of Dirtall, the quarterback. Hand off to Crossland. Gets through the initial line, makes it to the second level, and is taken down at the 8-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 5. That'll make it 2nd and 5.
And you can get big yards on first down. If your offense can move the ball and make it 2nd and short consistently, then you're doing something right. And right now the Hawks are moving that ball, and I would say they are definitely doing some things right.
Dirtall, it's weird to call him a veteran, but he's a 4-year starter for this team. We had a chance to watch him a couple of years ago. Pressure up the middle by Pike, causes Dirtall to break out to his left. And James Wade making the open field tackle near the 4-yard line. And they're going to mark him officially at the 3. And that should make it 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
Nice tackle right there by James Wade. Again, like you said, open field tackle. Dirtall was trying to extend the play as long as he could. It looked like he was about to do. He was going to try to put that ball in the right hand and throw it across the middle, but he made the wise decision. And again, great tackle right there by James Wade. See if they try to spread them out and use that quarterback draw once again. It's been pretty effective.
Katawanga is the receiver on the near side. Haven't seen him yet. Normally the starting safety for the Hawks, but he's athletic out on the edge. Nick's in motion and a flag. And I'm going to guess it's delay a game.
Yep, delay of game.
Yep, delay game on the Hawks. So that'll push them back 1st and goal from the 8-yard line where they just were.
Dirtall it looked like he couldn't get the signal in from the coach. He spent a lot of time looking to the sideline. By the time they got it in and then they tried to run some motion, the clock was already down. There was no way he was going to get that play off.
That allowed Central Catholic to make a change defensively. Payau, who was up the middle defensively as the nose tackle position, is subbed out for Nicolaitis. Crossland takes the handoff up the middle and bumbling his way through a couple of tackles, falls forward into the end zone, and the Hawks take an early 6-0 lead. I thought he was met initially at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to shake off a couple of Rams defenders and make his way into the end zone.
Yeah, he's been running hard this whole drive. You know, just kept his legs turning, that what they call those yak yards or rack yards right after contact, yards after contact, and he drove his way into the end zone.
Boria is on for the extra point. And it's blocked by the Rams. We'll see if that comes into play later on in this game. So it's 6-0 for the Hawks as we head to our second kickoff just a couple moments away, and the Rams will have their first opportunity with the ball.
That was almost a perfect drive for the Hawks. They couldn't have asked for a better start. They picked up a big 3rd down. They moved the ball on 1st down. They go all the way down into the end zone. As we take a look at this replay of this touchdown, nice hole right there. Good hard running. That's what you teach. You know, that's the stuff that's going to be shown on film. That's how you run through the hole.
Yeah, Evan Brenner thought he might have had a tackle right there, had him at the shoestrings, but the churning of those legs, and Crossland able to stay on his feet and get it into the end zone.
Keep the legs moving, keep the legs moving. This extra point, the way that I see this game playing out, is it could be very high scoring, and those 1 point here, and maybe a missed extra point later on, or something like that. That could come into play.
I mean, how often have we seen it already this season in NFL games? You know, kicker misses an extra point, or Unfortunately, you don't have a kicker for maybe half your game if you're the Giants or you're the 49ers, and it's cost you a couple of games.
Right. Cost me some fantasy games, too.
I had to find a new kicker this week with Moody out.
Yeah, I had Moody, too.
Masig kicks off. It's a squibber. Picked up by Gates at the 20-yard line, still on his feet, and tackled by number 82, Alex Githenge.
These numbers on this light, I mean, on these jerseys, they make it hard to see from up here.
Well, the gold, it sort of reflects too with the lights. Hard to tell what's an 8, what's a 9.
The Rams have been good all season. The games that I've done, that I've seen, they've been able to answer back. Their answer back game is incredible. If the opposing team scores, the Rams have come back and answered quickly. And I would not be surprised if that's not the case here. Tyson Davis has been running hard all season long.
Davis is the running back next to Robbie Long. Long, play action, throws over the middle, and Nicolaitis gets upended, and he lost the ball at the 40-yard line, and the referees are saying he's down. Multiple referees are saying that Nicolaitis is down. Minimal gain, though.
Yeah, multiple referees and coaches and fans of the Rams are all saying he's down. And I would agree. That's a great catch, good concentration. That was a big hit.
Yes, it was.
That was a big hit. It was legal. Everything about it was good. He held onto the ball till it hits the ground, and we know the ground can't cause a fumble.
The offensive lineman for Central Catholic today, Zach Sestowski. The Washington commit at left tackle, Liam Madigan at the guard position, McGregor at center, Xander Michigan at right guard, and P.J. Tautu, the freshman right tackle. Strong run up the middle by Tyson Davis. He's able to bully his way up for about a gain of 5. That'll make it 3rd and 2 from their own, it looks to be 46-yard line.
Tyson Davis is another example of keeping those legs turning. It's very seldom do you see him get taken down by the first tackle or for the first defender. He keeps his legs moving, and he always falls forward.
You're going to see a bit of a power formation here. 2 tight ends on the field right now, Nicolaitis and Milholen. Both on the right side of the formation for Central Catholic. Curtis is the near receiver. Gates at the top. Hand off to Curtis. Or Davis, excuse me. Has enough for the first down. Gets it to the 48-yard line of Nelson. And that'll make it 1st and 10 for Central Catholic.
Central Catholic just has so many weapons, and I don't know, I haven't seen a defense yet that can cover all their weapons. When you start to key in on Tyson Davis in the run, and that's when Landon Kelsey, DeMarion Gates, they take off on the outside. Then you try to key on the pass, and then you got Davis, and it's a tough call.
Hand off to Davis, tries to bounce it to the outside, and the Rams do the Hawks do a good job of containing Davis. It'll be a loss of 2 after his forward momentum.
Yeah, that time the defensive line, they just won that battle right there. They won their one-on-ones, as a lot of coaches like to say, won their 11s, and they wouldn't allow Tyson Davis to get his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage. And that's how you're going to stop him. Make him run east to west.
Kelsey and Gates are the receivers on the near side.
Uh-oh.
Long, looking at Kelsey, throws it out to the 45-yard line. Couple defenders around him, makes them both miss, spins back inside, and he's back near the original line of scrimmage. A lot of running around for a pickup of only 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8 from the 46-yard line.
Yes, that was a nice 4-yard pickup right there. Landon Kelsey, but hey, they got to know that these guys are not going down easy. You're going to have to make that gang tackle right there. You've seen the Hawks, they're swarming to the ball. That's what you're going to have to do, because these Ram defenders, these Ram offensive players can take the ball to the house at any given moment. These are the plays where I've seen them try to hit Gates across the middle.
2 receivers and a tight end at the top. Rolling out to his left, it's Long. Trying to get the out route, and it's dropped. We have a flag, though, on the near hash mark back at the 45-yard line. And you have to think that's probably going to go against Central Catholic on where that flag is located, but Robbie Long is pointing towards Nelson. We'll see what the referees have to say.
You know, and that's one thing that we do know, that the quarterback always knows where the.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
quarterback's never wrong.
Quarterback's never wrong. Got to trust the kids.
But hey,
they're going to tell you where it goes.
You're moving the ball.
Okay. Ooh, but not an automatic first down.
I think there might have been a neutral zone infraction. Somebody lining up on the line of scrimmage for Nelson. So that'll make it 3rd and 3, much more manageable now for Central Catholic. Still trying to respond after the opening drive score from the Nelson Hawks. Under 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Gates and Kelsey near side.
Ooh, that middle.
Curtis and Blanchett at the top. Davis is met by 4 different Hawks, and they cut off all momentum and gang tackle him for a loss of 3 on the play. And Nelson is firing off the ball right now and controlling that line of scrimmage.
Wow, when pre-snap, I thought that play was going to was open. I saw the middle. They have 4 wide, so the DBs are all spread out. The linebackers are pretty much on the perimeter, and I thought that middle was open, but they closed that hole immediately.
So loss of 3 officially. It'll be 4th and 6 on the 44-yard line. It'll be bunch formation on the left. Landon Kelsey alone on the near side with Davis still the running back.
I would try to change the snap count real quick, see if you can get this aggressive.
Over the middle, and it's high, intended for Davion Curtis, and it goes incomplete. And there was some jawing back at the 50-yard line. It was Liam Madigan mixing it up with one of the defensive linemen for Nelson. Either way, it's a turnover on downs. 3:45 remaining here in the first quarter. It's 6-0 Nelson leads. And your thoughts on that play call there, partner, what Central Catholic decided to do on 4th down?
You know, you're sort of in that no man's land, and you have complete trust in your offense. So it doesn't surprise me that they're going for it. Throw was just a little bit too high. Personally, I'm looking for a bigger target like Landon Kelsey on that play. But you can't be mad because, again, like we talked about, the Rams have so many weapons.
Referee blew the play dead before it even started. Jazz Katawanga is being pushed off the field. I'm not quite sure what was going on. Maybe he's got a cut on his leg. He's bleeding right now. And it's hard to tell. The referee just pointed at him, and he's been looking at his ankle ever since.
Maybe the referee was telling him he needed some lotion. Maybe it's ashy. I don't know.
Nick's in motion. Dirtall. Screen pass. And he's got his man. It's Payau who will take him down at the 49-yard line. Nice pickup, though, of 7 yards. It was Ivelia on the reception.
You know, they set up the screen. When you call the screen, that means you're anticipating that the defense is going to be coming, maybe with a blitz or just all-out pressure. You know, they're feeling the pressure a little bit, so he figured that Central would be coming with some heat. Nice play call at the right time.
Got to say, impressed so far with Dirtall. Crossland gets the handoff, and he is whipped down to the ground. A pickup of 1. I've got 2 different flags, though, out on the field. One at the 48-yard line in the middle of the field, and one at the far sideline at the 49-yard line.
And that one on the far side is way over there. I don't know what you could call over there. Maybe some unsportsmanlike on the coach. That flag is almost out of bounds.
Unless you see somebody lining up across the line of scrimmage. That's my only guess.
Well,
and so offsetting penalties, holding on the offense, and then a face mask on defense.
It's unfortunate for both sides.
Talking with both coaches, they were saying how important it was to control the line of scrimmage in this game and limit the big plays. And I would say that Nelson so far has come out on all cylinders, controlling the line of scrimmage. The run game is looking good, and Dirdahl seems calm, cool, and poised in the pocket as he throws towards the sideline. And missing his receiver, it was intended for number 15, Ian Nix.
You know, like James Wade. James Wade has the personality of a corner. You know, to have a corner, you got to have a lot of swag. You got to be back there feeling like nobody can beat you. And that's what he's walking around. And you're going to need that type of confidence and that type of swag if you want to shut down this type of an offense.
Dirdahl will keep it himself, tries to break it to the outside. Brenner dives and coming up and making the tackle is Ty Newberry from his linebacker position at the 45. Down for Dirdahl and the Hawks.
Dirdahl is doing exactly what he needs. He's not trying to make the big play, just taking what the defense is giving him, moving the chains. Got to be impressed so far. One thing about it, we've seen teams get off to a pretty good start against these Rams. They're going to have to be able to sustain this for 4 quarters because we know the Rams are coming.
Running back in motion. Dirdahl looking deep towards the sideline, looking for Katawanga. And there was some hand fighting there, and you're going to get a flag. Looked like it was Cole Thomas. Correction. It's 26, Tatum Prama-Harris, who was on defense. And you're probably going to get... Oh, no. They're calling that on the offense. Tautu on. They get a defensive change on the line, but they're going to call offensive pass interference.
And if they call that, then I have a lot of respect for these officials because they never call offensive pass interference. I saw they're both, so like you said, hand fighting going on out there, and they typically call it on the defense, but it looked like that hand fighting started on the offensive side.
You can hear the Nelson fans now not happy about that call. There was a lot of hand fighting. It looked like Katawanga was, I'm not saying he committed the foul or if it was on, or if it was on Newberry. Or Prama-Harris, my apologies.
Yeah, that ball was underthrown.
Yeah, Katawanga.
Katawanga was trying to come back to it. In his initial move to come back, he sort of threw Prama-Harris out off the side, and the referee saw it.
Hand off to Crossland. Off the left guard, and he was met by Brevin Pike. You could hear that hit all the way up here. It's a pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd and 24 now.
We'll see if they sort of unleash Dirdahl's arm that we've heard a lot about, his big arm that he has. 2nd and long.
Dirdahl will look to his left, looking for Boria. Feels the pressure behind him, rolls out to his right, towards the sideline. Almost had his man, but throws it out of bounds. That'll make it 3rd and 24 for the Hawks.
You know, they say that you don't have a play for 3rd and 24 in your playbook. But I disagree. We all had that play when we played football growing up. It was called the bomb. Go deep, and we just throw it and see what happens. Sometimes
4
when you throw the ball,
yeah,
4 verts, there you go.
And you'll have trips right for the Hawks. Crosland, the running back to the right of Dirdahl. DB's playing back for Central Catholic. They're setting up for the screen. Dirdahl recognize it. Pike almost made the tackle. The flip to Crosland, and that'll be a pickup of 3 on the play. Looked like Te'au was in on the tackle.
Those are the type of plays defensively that really gets your coaching staff excited. The line played that beautifully. They started coming as they started their rush. It looks like they all at the same time realized, wow, we're getting in here pretty easy. This must be some type of a trick. So they pulled off of the pursuit and sort of broke up that whole little screen play, and then was able to revert back and make that tackle on Dirdahl.
Well, that was already the 2nd screen that they've tried to run against Central Catholic. So yeah, you're learning on the fly. Punt by Alcorn will bounce back towards the 35-yard line. Ford is touchdown by the Hawks. So it'll be 1st and 10 from about the 35-yard line for Central Catholic. And offensively, they did not get a push on that first drive, and we saw a couple plays from the Hawks making tackles in the backfield for losses.
Yeah, there's some adversity, you know, and as a coach, you always want to challenge your team. You want to see how do they respond to adversity. That first drive resulted in a punt or resulted in a turnover on downs, and let's see how they handle this adversity.
Should be noted that the defensive line is headed by Dominic Macon, the Washington commit. He's going up against a future teammate in Zach Staskowski, who also committed to UW. Long looks to his right, gets around the pressure, throws it out to Nicolaitis, who makes a catch at the 39-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play, and a late flag back by where Robbie Long was. And it's at the 28-yard line, and we've got a hold against Central Catholic, and that's unfortunate because it looked like Long had already gotten away from that area, and there wasn't a need for a hold.
Yeah, maybe the referee was looking for his flag all that time because the play was already completed almost when that flag came out. But I'm impressed with Nicolaitis, his hands. Once again, that's a tough play, and you're taking contact, and he held onto the football. Although it doesn't count for anything as far as stats, it does count for something as far as confidence.
So after the flag, that'll back them up to the 25-yard line. 1st and 20 after the hold. And we talked to Coach Landgraf at the beginning of the season. He talked about the tight end room being one of the bright spots for this offense because of people like Nicolaitis. And they're just going to let the clock run out here. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Maybe a bit of a shocker for some players and some people in the stands. Nelson leading 6-0 against the defending state champs in Central Catholic. Talking with Coach Hazel and Nelson this week and what it would mean to beat Central Catholic. He says, you know, one of our goals is to win the Mount Hood Conference. Not necessarily we need to beat Central Catholic, but you have to go through them. Our main goal is to be playing great football in November, but it'd be pretty nice to beat Central Catholic.
Absolutely. When you look at your schedule, there's a game that always sticks out, and it's the game against the best. And this is Central Catholic has been the best. So if you want to win the Mount Hood Conference, you have to beat Central Catholic. You can't count on somebody else to beat them, and if they beat you, and then you got to have somebody, you got to have 2 teams to beat them, matter of fact. So this is your opportunity, and the Nelson Hawks have done their job in the first quarter. I don't know how many people would have believed you if you told them that at the end of 1, the Hawks will be ahead.
Coach Landgraf has a lot of respect for Coach Hazel and what Nelson is doing over there. He talked about how they're a really good football team. They have a ton of athletes. They've got the speed. They've got the physicality. Their offense puts the defense in a bind because they've got so many athletes. They want to spread you across the field. There's not one person you can really focus on. And I think we've seen that through the first couple of drives for Nelson.
Yes, you have. And what else you've seen is you've seen their confidence grow. And when you have an offense like that, that also helps your defense. You can see that defense is not sitting there. They're not on their heels. They're coming right at the Rams. They really believe that they can win this football game.
2 receivers and a tight end on the far side of the formation for Central Catholic as we're just a couple moments away from starting the second quarter.
I would not be surprised if we see more Gates and Kelsey in this drive. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers.
Davis is the running back. Off left of Long. Davis will get it. Stiff arms one man, bounces to the right side, cuts back in, back to the original line of scrimmage, and he will be tackled at the 35-yard line.
Back to the original line of scrimmage before the penalty. Nice run, Tyson Davis. You know, when I talk about the playmakers, you can't forget about Tyson Davis. You can feel good about getting the ball to him on any down, on any situation. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, 1st and long, 3rd and short, whatever. That guy is a running back.
Same formation as last time. Nicolaitis in motion. Linebacker shifting over with him. Another handoff to Davis. Burst through the initial line from Nelson, still on his feet. But the pack of Hawks are there.
burst through his right. You can see him as he's hitting that hole. He can see that the hole is about to close, and if you go through there soft, you're going to get knocked back. He sort of jumped and just burst his way through there, picked up a few yards. Just keep the chain moving in the right direction.
It's Tanner Saxon on the tackle. Gain of only 3. It'll be 3rd and 7 from their own 38-yard line. And you kind of have to think if the Rams don't pick up this first down, it's what we've seen throughout most of the season, just penalties really hindering the offense at inopportune times. Long hesitates, a couple pump fakes, runs into his own offensive lineman, and he gets tackled from behind. Oh! Unintentional, but that referee is not happy about it.
He is not happy.
It was unintentional. You can't see what's above your head when you're in the helmet. And that was Abraham Zarata who made the tackle and then tackled the referee.
Oh, that's 2 tackles in one play, you know.
That'll make it 4th down. And it looks like they actually lost a yard on it, so it'll be 4th and 8 from the 38-yard line. And now the punt team will come out for Central Catholic. This Hawks defense right now has done a terrific job swarming and playing team football and gang tackling.
They're doing all the little things, all the things necessary to stay in this football game right now.
Landon Kelsey will punt.
Oh.
That one goes more high than far. It'll just pass the 50-yard line. And honestly, it would have been perfect if it was inside the 10-yard line with the way that ball just stopped, no roll. And that'll be a short field for Nelson, exactly what they would want with a lead right now and possibly put them up by 2 scores.
You know, the coaching staff was late calling that punt. They did not want to call that punt team out there. But, you know, it was the right move to make. Then the punt doesn't go so far. Not the best punt I've seen Landon Kelsey have. So now I'm sure the coaching staff was thinking, geez, we could have went for it. But you made the right call. Now they just got to keep standing up on defense.
That's the backup running back getting the handoff there. Cole Thomas was the first man to meet him along with Kainoa Hayes. It was Rowan Gander who got the handoff, his first carry of the night.
I think in these type of games, we'll start hearing the name Kainoa Hayes a lot more. He's a big game player, and right now their team needs some boost. And over the years, Kainoa Hayes has been the guy that has been able to provide that for them.
Big body, 6'2", 290-pound senior in the middle of that defensive line. Then you got Nate Payau, who's 6'2", 300, right next to him. Man in motion for Nelson. Durdahl will pass. He's going towards the sideline. And I can't tell if that ball came out, and Wade makes the catch as it bounced out of a couple of hands, and he'll be tackled at the 29-yard line if that stands. That is Durdahl's first interception of the season in an unlikely fashion.
2 players trying to make a play on the ball, and the ball comes down, but it doesn't hit the ground. Bounces off one of the players. It looks like it may have bounced off the defensive player right into the hands of James Wade.
Here, we got a replay right here. It was Kelsey that was trying to make a play on it. And Boria was also there, the receiver. And yeah, just a couple fighting to the ground, and then nobody had real possession, and it popped back up.
Great awareness right there by James Wade. And Landon Kelsey out there playing corner. He's not always playing corner, but when you got a big guy like that, you have a big game like this, hey, it's time to no holds barred.
Yeah, this could be the momentum that the Rams needed to get something going offensively. Should be noted, this Hawks team has been really good limiting teams, and Curtis will make the catch at the 30-yard line, and he's still on his feet at the 15, the 10, trying to stay on his feet, and eventually brought down at the 3-yard line by Nico Brugado.
We talked about those yards after contact. He caught the ball at the 30 and just sort of drug Nico all the way down to the 3-yard line. I want to see what this flag is. It may have been a face mask or...
That would be my guess. The flag is at the 23-yard line outside the far hash.
that's that big play that they've been looking for. You know, we know their offense is explosive. So far to this point, they've been sort of held back from making that big play, and right there, it looks like they are making an effort to go after that. Oh yeah, go after that corner.
It was Brugano. 68-yard catch and run is what they're officially marking it as. It'll make it first and goal from the 4-yard line.
Now I'm expecting a heavy dose of Tyson Davis here.
I think you're on the right path there, partner. You've got both your tight ends in, one on each side of the line. If you see Nicolaitis go in motion, don't be surprised if they try to run this to the right side. There he goes. And off to Davis, breaks it to the right, makes one man miss by sidestepping him, and walks right into the end zone, ties this game up at 6-all.
It was not to be denied. He was not going to be denied right there.
A little bit of the Olay action to let the defender go by.
He pursued too hard. He just sort of stopped, put his foot in the ground, let the defender go by. Little wiggle right there, and then it was power burst into the end zone. That's the Rams offense that we have seen, known to love all season long. Big play, and then capitalize.
Martinez Ibarra with the extra point, and the Rams will take the lead 7-6 with 7:41 left to go until halftime.
You know, earlier in the game, it looks like the Rams were have been seeing something that they like in that corner, Nico Brigado. So they've been sort of picking on him. And you even, you know, you have Landon Kelsey, you have DeMarion Gase over here on this side, but they have been trying to get the ball to that side of the field no matter who that guy is guarding. So it tells me something that they've seen on tape that feels like they have a mismatch they can exploit. Robbie Long with a nice pass. We've been talking a lot about Avery Durdall and his arm, but Robbie Long, hey, he's like, don't forget about me.
Coach Landgraf, when I was talking to him earlier this week, he said, you know, he's done a terrific job minimizing all the turnovers. He's got, at the time, it was 14 touchdowns, only 1 interception on the season. And so for a guy who's really stepping in after taking over for Crew Newman, who was here for a 3-year starter for Central Catholic, trying to get comfortable in this offense, and it seems almost seamless for him as the starting quarterback this year.
If you just started watching him play, you would not know that he's not a 3 or 4 year starter. Fake.
It's a handoff to Boria, and the Rams are not fooled. Pike was there, and so was Blanchette on the tackle. So some misdirection from the Hawks. I feel like that sort of hurt them right there.
Yeah, some misguided misdirection. That's one of those plays that in the huddle you think, oh yeah, let's run it. We practice, and now when you actually see it in practice or see it on the field here, you realize that wasn't such a good idea. The first handoff, he should have just kept that and maybe fake the reverse, which is what I thought he was going to do because that play was blown up right from the start.
Looks to be man defense for Central Catholic with how the DBs are setting up. Now they back off. Durdall fakes the handoff. He'll take it power to the left side. Newberry was there as the second man. And then Hudson Coe had the initial contact for Central Catholic.
Nice play. Newberry blew that up right there from the start. They're trying to spread everybody out here on the right side and just let Avery Durdall run from the left. But Newberry was not fooled. Then he called some of his friends. And hey, guys, he's over here with the ball.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 10-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Crossland got about 4 or 5 yards before he was touched. And that burst almost gets him up to 10 yards. Vercher was in on the tackle. And they're going to mark him just short at the 19-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
That was a big run for them. They needed to create some room, and if they were to go straight 3 and out without even picking up any yards, that's a whole lot of momentum that they would have to worry about.
And Central just gave him the first down. Encroachment on the defense.
You know, B, that's my favorite play.
Free first down, right?
Yeah, free first down. And I love changing up the snap count. You know, I've said it many times before here. I think more teams should be changing up the snap count here at high school football. Kids seem to lose their focus sometimes, and you can often pick up 5 quick yards without doing anything.
You saw it right there, fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Crossland met by Newberry as he came around the edge. No gain on the play.
Newberry was in the back. He looked like he knew the play. I think when Dirtall looked over to the sideline, Newberry looked over to the sideline as well. I was like, oh, we're running that play? Well, I got something for you.
Yeah, I watched tape this week.
I watched tape. Yeah, I know that play.
Looks like Nix and Boria, the near side receivers. Dirtall will look to his left, throws to the right, over the middle, and almost tipped by Cole Thomas, and I think that made it difficult for Ivalia to make that catch over the middle of the field.
Yeah, I don't think Dirtall could put the ball in a better place, but that ball was zipped in there right across the middle of the field. Wouldn't be surprised if they did not come back to that in a few minutes or at some point during this game.
It'll be 3rd and 10 at the 24-yard line. Let's see what that whistle's for. 5:27 remaining in the half. 1-point lead for the Rams.
I think it was a whistle check. Whistle check.
Had to make sure it still works.
All right.
Can't be too careful out there.
You never know when you might need to blow it. Oh.
False start on the receiver, far side of the field. And that's unfortunate. That's for Malachi Garlington, who just checked into the game. Former Ram, by the way. Transferred over to Nelson during the summer.
Well, so I'm sure he was ready. That was a pass play, I can guarantee you.
He was ready to go on the route.
He was breaking that line because it was a pass play, and he was going to try to get some get back against his former team, but now he's cost his current team 5 yards.
It'll be 3rd and 15 from the 19-yard line. Trips right formation. Crossland is the back to the left of Dirtall. Goes to his right. He's going to throw towards the sideline, looking for his man, and the catch is going to be made by Ivalia. Kelsey can't make the catch. Cole Thomas will recover and make the stop at the 40-yard line, but Ivalia, great body control right there near the sideline to locate that ball, make the catch, and shed the defender.
Really nice play right there by Ivalia. The throw was right on the money. It looked like at one point that there could have been a jump ball, but that ball landed right on Ivalia's shoulder. All he had to do was catch it, but then to get the feet in bounds. Great athletic play.
And some confusion for Central Catholic. Crossland will take it, spins out of one tackle, and falls forward to the 34-yard line. Central Catholic was having some personnel changes. They weren't set up defensively, and Nelson, running the quick offense, gets about 6 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd and 4.
No, Nelson is not, they're not huddling up, and so it's kind of hard for you to make all the substitutions that you would like to sometimes because they're not huddling up.
And a timeout taken by Central Catholic. That'll be their first of this half with 4:29 to go. And I think after the personnel change that last play plus the play beforehand. You want to take a timeout, regroup here. 2nd and 4. Nelson seems to be driving after that big play. Let's see what they can do. Your thoughts?
Right, well, like we just talked about, Nelson is not huddling up, so it's making the Rams play at a faster pace than they're used to. And so subs are coming in late. So sometimes you just got to call a timeout, as you said, just to get everything together, get everybody calmed down, and make sure that everybody's on the same pace. This is a big drive. Every drive at this point is a big drive. I'm probably going to say that 19 more times here, but this here is a big drive.
Central Catholic, you'd love to get a stop and then get the double dip action of scoring just before half, and then you get the ball again after halftime. 2 receivers and a tight end at the top of the formation. Dirtall fakes the handoff, throws over the middle, and almost intercepted. Donnie Virtue was waiting all over it. Jumped up and knocked that one down, almost had the interception in the process.
Great recognition by Donnie Virtue. He saw the play materializing, and he jumped, but he really didn't have to jump. If he stands, you're not going to just stand there, but this so happened, if he just stood still, he probably would have been able to reach up and intercept it, but he jumped, and then the ball ends up hitting him in the stomach or in the numbers. He wasn't anticipating that. It was sort of a sidearm throw by Avery Dirtall.
So 3rd and 4, 4:25 remaining until halftime. Trips left. Virtue coming off the edge. It's a blitz from Central Catholic. Nice ball up over the top. And a flag thrown. Boria was the intended receiver. Cole Thomas will get called for the flag. Well, it's not a spot foul, so it'll be 15 yards from the line of scrimmage.
I didn't see a pass interference on that play.
I thought both were going for the ball.
Yeah. Sometimes the officials are assuming that there's going to be contact or assuming that there's going to be pass interference, and so they're ready to throw the flag at anything. And I believe that may have been one of those moments because I did not see.
My only thought is maybe Thomas didn't turn around in time as that ball came in, and so that's what he's getting called for. He's trying to get an explanation. He's just saying that his hand was on the hip, maybe?
The line crew took off going down the field as with the mindset of NFL rules, spot foul. They had to bring everybody back.
They just had to listen to the call here.
There you go.
I said it.
You did. You need to get those guys some headphones down there.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Nelson, though, at the 19-yard line after the penalty.
It's a big penalty right there.
Quarterback keeper up the gut. Flag comes flying in. Payal was the man who made the tackle.
Holding. This back-to-back penalties. Neither team seems to be able to get into a rhythm because they're getting called for so many penalties.
I feel like we've gone through the last 3 or 4 minutes and only run 2 plays with the flags.
It's just a bunch of flags.
4:12 left until halftime. With the flag, that'll back up Nelson 10 yards. It's from the spot of the foul. Seems like that went a little further back than it should have.
Yeah, and I think
that
that's
looks
what
like it was 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage is where that 10-yard penalty would be. That ball should be just at the 29-yard line.
This is what the Nelson crowd is yelling.
And now the referees are going to get together, and the Nelson fans seem to be getting a bit restless. Looks like Coach Hazel's trying to say something to the referee on the far sideline as well.
There you go, right there.
And there it is. All right.
Well, you know, the official, when he picked the ball up to mark it back, he didn't count off his steps like we used to see. He just sort of ran back, and I guess he was trying to do the math in his head. But the math wasn't mathing.
Knicks in motion. Correction, that was Ivalia in motion. Dirtall being chased from behind, and it's tipped. Vercher was coming down on Dirtall, and it looked like Central Catholic actually had an injury near the sideline. Cannot see the player at the moment, but he's the one, it looked like, made the tip on the pass, or the pass deflection, I should say. And he's currently down on the sideline being looked at by a couple of trainers for Central Catholic.
That was a nice play. The pursuit was coming. They were after Dirtall and jumped up and tipped the ball again. Dirtall, 6 foot.
He's 6 foot 180.
Yeah, and so the defensive linemen seem to be looking down at Dirtall, and they're getting their hands up, tipping the ball. Once that ball's tipped, then there's no more pass interference. And that ball was tipped. The DBs saw it and then just knocked the receiver out of bounds, and incomplete pass.
Still unable to see which player is down on the field right now. Oh, it's Evan Brenner. One of the outside linebackers defensively for Central Catholic. So you'll have Ty Newberry come in and replace.
He's walking off on his own power to put a little pressure on that leg. So.
Seems to have a slight limp.
Yeah.
Maybe twisted an ankle. We'll hopefully get an update on him in just a bit. Short gain. Hayes was there along with Nicolaitis. It was Rowan Gander on the run. Pickup of 2 on the play. 3rd and 18 from the 27-yard line.
We've seen those hands of Nicolaitis on offense, and right there we see them on defense. He wrapped around the run back, and he was not going to let him go. Yeah, these numbers, I can't see them.
It's still Gander as the running back. Dirtall looks to his right, goes through his progression over the middle of the field. Now he tries to make a couple of defenders miss, and it's Nicolaitis tackling him from behind. Pickup of 4 on the play. It'll be 4th and 14 from the 23-yard line. And if you're Nelson, you already had your field goal blocked. Do you just try to take a shot at the end zone here? 14 yards. You can still get it, don't get me wrong. All you have to do is get to the 9-yard line, so you've got some space before the end zone. But for Nelson, you might have a couple of different plays you may feel a bit more comfortable calling. You don't have to go all the way to the end zone right here.
Well, one of the plays I'm sure you feel comfortable calling is throwing it deep and hope that there's a pass interference call. That is, you know, we know he has the arm. He has trust in his receivers. He has receivers that have already made big plays. So I would not be surprised if he puts that ball up in the air and basically see what happens. We know that the officials have been calling it close, and like it or not, pass interference is a play in the playbook now.
Just ask Joe Flacco. That was his greatest play. Kidding, of course. Super Bowl champion. Best backup in the NFL right now.
Best backup, right. The Browns should have kept him.
They didn't even offer him. Can you believe that? Not even an offer. Took him to the playoffs and everything.
That's disrespectful.
It certainly is. It'll be an empty formation. Dirtall all alone on 4th down. 2 receivers on the near side, 3 at the top of the screen.
Who's covering the slot? Kansas City
It's
Chiefs.
Austin in motion. Deep pass towards the corner of the end zone and dropped it perfectly for the touchdown. Ivalia came running underneath it, and a drop in the bucket for the touchdown. 2:31 remaining until halftime, and the Hawks have a 12-7 lead.
Well, all athleticism was on display right there. There was a great toss, great catch, concentration, keeps his feet in bounds. Defense, that was actually a very good defensive play. You know, defensively there wasn't a whole lot more you could do. But he's right there, he's in his hip. And like you said, that ball was just dropped in the bucket.
And I think we had a timeout called.
The Hawks are going to go for 2.
Here's another look at the replay. And Boria broke to the outside, Kelsey, and it looked like James Wade had separated in the top of that secondary, and Ivelia just, again, ran right underneath it to make that catch.
We were talking about what would they run, and that is a play. That is one of their plays. Just throw it up, throw it deep. Let his receivers try to make a play. And that was a well-timed play. And that was a great throw.
If you're Central Catholic, you're not happy about that one on 4th down of all plays to give up the lead. And they've got their big defensive lineman, Dominic Macon, as the running back. They're going to hand it off to Macon, and he's still on his feet. Rams are trying to deny him. He's still churning those legs, and eventually they're going to say his momentum was stopped. I like the idea, though, using the big man fridge style.
Fridge style. Donovan Bacon, you called him?
Macon. Might as well call him Bacon.
He was big. He was moving his feet. He was trying to get in there. He was not going to be denied, but
he's a 6'3", 305-pound defensive lineman.
Wow.
He'll be playing football up in Seattle next year for the University of Washington.
Okay, we forgive him. That was a nice play defensively. You got to have some heart to stand in there and stop that big fella. And they did it, and no one guy is going to do it. There was, again, another gang tackle.
You get a replay of it right here. If you're the linebackers, you're happy those defensive linemen really plug those holes. And look at Hayes down there trying to grab his ankle, pull him back here.
Anything, do whatever you can to get that big fella to the ground.
So we've seen Nelson get in the end zone twice, but unable to convert on a 2-point conversion and their extra points. So 0 for 2 in that standpoint. They're only up by 5. With about 2.5 minutes left to go. Wade and Gates are back for the kick.
Both equally as dangerous.
Porter Masig with the kick, and it's another squib at the 20-yard line, and Gates will pick it up at the 17. Went to the left, cuts it back to the far sideline, sidesteps another man. It's like he's covered in butter out there. The defenders just keep missing. Slip sliding his way up towards, it looks to be about the 34-yard line. Correction, 32-yard line is where they will officially mark him down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Very shifty over there on that far sideline.
Yes, that's Gates. He really is. And I know he and Wade have a really good relationship, but right there, Gates got in front of Wade and picked that ball up.
It's like,
Wade,
I got this.
Yeah, and Wade doesn't look like he's very happy. I'm sure he'll get over it. I'm sure they'll talk about it and laugh at it at one point.
It's like, hey man, you're on offense most of the time. Let the defender touch the ball here.
Yes.
2:22 remaining until halftime. Gates and Curtis are the receivers on the near side. Long looks to his right. He's got Kelsey. Now he's rolling out of his pocket to the right, chased, and will be slung out of bounds and then tackled after he was already out of bounds. There was a flag I thought I saw thrown in at one point. And they're going to say holding on Central Catholic. Now, I'm surprised there wasn't a flag on the tackle on Robbie Long because he was out of bounds and they still whipped him down to the ground.
Right.
Maybe they thought he was already in the motion of doing that as he got to the sideline. Hard to tell. We're across the field.
Yeah. If it was on the Rams side, I would imagine there would be a little bit more pressure to make that call.
I hear you. Instead, that'll be a sack, a loss of 8 yards on the play. Screen pass to the left and bounces it into Curtis. I think that pressure was a bit too quick. Long wasn't expecting it that fast.
Right. And he sort of casually threw that ball out there. I don't think he also recognized how deep that was, you know, trying to run sort of that tunnel screen. And Davion Curtis was just a little bit deeper than Robbie Long anticipated.
That'll make it 3rd and long. They're on 24-yard line, and Central Catholic has already punted once. It didn't go far, so if you're Nelson, you'd love to get a stop here and maybe get another short field on a punt. And it looks like we're going to have another timeout.
What I'm noticing is that the Rams have put Kelsey on that right side of the field, that side that they feel like they have, that they've been picking on, so to speak, all game long, trying to create that mismatch. So I wouldn't be surprised as well if the Rams take their turn at throwing the ball deep and seeing if their playmakers can make a play. Nelson Hawks probably will have somebody over the top, but they can't have somebody over the top of all your DBs. The Hawks have to be feeling really good right now. You know, you come in thinking about how can you stop the Rams offense, and you have to effectively take away something. And they can run the ball, they can pass, they can do all things football, but we haven't heard Tyson Davis' name a lot today. So they've effectively taken the running game out of this game.
Well, I think it goes back to that first drive. They had the better push off the line. They had a couple tackles for losses against the Rams offense on run plays. Long. Take the snap, drops back, is looking to his left, has all this time, throws towards the sideline, a duck, and Kelsey won't make the catch. It is Catawanga, the safety, who came over and knocked that ball away. Talking to Aaron Hazel, he loves what Catawanga was able to do during this offseason. Went to the gym, put on 35 pounds. Coach said, hey, listen, I'm all for it. I didn't have to force you into the weight room. You want to put on that weight yourself? Great. Started out as a cornerback last year, made the transition to safety, and the coaches think that's his more natural position. And you saw it right there.
That's impressive. Yes, that's a guy who wants it. That's a guy who wants it. You would love to have those guys on the team. Those are great examples for all your younger players as well. Now, I put on 35 pounds, but I didn't go in the gym and do it.
I sat on the couch, had a few snacks.
Exactly.
And
now the Rams are short a player on the punt.
And Coach Landgraf not happy about it. Virtue having a run on last second.
2 guys. They're not used to this punting thing.
That's true.
Like, Coach, am I on the punt team? Do we really actually have a punt team?
Wow, you only had 9 players out on the field right there. Virtue and Co. were not on.
They'll hear about that.
That's an easy thing that you can correct. Being in the moment, knowing where you need to be, what time it is in the game.
It shows you right now that there's a little bit of uneasiness right now on the hands and on account of the players, at least on the Rams side, because those are mental mistakes that only happen when you're not comfortable.
Boria back to receive the kick from Kelsey. Last punt didn't go much further than 25 yards. Kelsey rolling out to his left. He's got a big opening. He can take it if he wants, and he will. He's at the 40, and he's got enough for the first down. He's still going. He's got blockers out in front of him. Cuts it back towards the middle of the field, and he'll be brought down by number 7, Stevenson. But what a fake punt right there. He was just rolling out to his left, and there were no Nelson Hawks. I thought he was going to take off even earlier. He waited until the last second.
Right. You know, that's sort of that new punt formation. They just sort of move the pocket, I'll say, running, and then you have the opportunity to punt it on the run. Angle your punt towards the sideline. But you also have the opportunity to see, hey, I might be able to run and get this. And I would imagine if you run that back, you'll see the coaches on the sideline telling them, keep it, keep it, keep it. Got the first down. Great pickup. Great read by Landon Kelsey.
Hand off to Davis. Burst through the left side and open field tackle.
Now it's Tyson
like
time.
Deacon Beard on the tackle.
What a big play right there. Jeez, you can't underestimate that play. And again, I'm sure Landon has the option, but you don't always feel comfortable about running and making that play. It was 4th and
18.
18.
Heck of a pickup for Central Catholic, and sort of feel the momentum change here. Long, rolling
There
out.
he is.
He's got Gates in the back of the end zone. Did he make the catch? Oh my goodness! Through the traffic, he made that catch.
What? Wow.
Went through a couple of defenders, looked like even a Central Catholic pair of hands, and it still ended up in the arms of Demarion Gates.
What concentration right there. What concentration do you guys have? I'm looking to see that ball rolling around on the carpet. That's twice. These Rams players have made great catches within traffic, concentrating on that football.
Point after touchdown will be good, and so it's a 2-point lead now for Central Catholic, and a huge 4th down conversion on the punt. And here you'll get another look at the pass play from Long. You've got Nicolaitis in the area, Kelsey in the area, 4 different defenders, and Demarion Gates ends up with it.
Robbie Long is going to tell us all that he was throwing the ball to Gates. That pass was going to Gates the whole time. Man.
I honestly think he was going for Kelsey, who was cutting back over, but hey, touchdown's a touchdown at this point in the game. You scored with just under a minute left until halftime, so you've got a 2-point lead, and you're getting the ball back after halftime. Sprinkle in that double dip.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you're fundamentally sound here on this kickoff. You don't want to give the Hawks any opportunity to take the ball in and score again before this half is over, and you can get out of this half with the lead. That's big. It didn't look like it was going to happen. 4th and 18. That's going to be a play that you're going to talk about years and years. By the time Landon Kelsey gets to be my age, he's going to say it was 4th and 49, and I ran 75 yards. But that was a big play.
It's like the old Scout Brady line. It's like, oh, when my kids ask me about it, in 5 years, I was a bench warmer. In 10 years, I was a starter. In 20 years, I was MVP. And I still won the title, though. That's all that matters. Kelsey kicks off. And Boria lets that bounce at the 1-yard line, and now he has to play it. Blanchette applying pressure on him will force him out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So 56 seconds left to go until halftime. We've seen Nelson move the ball pretty effectively at times. I've liked what Durdahl has done from the pocket, but Central Catholic has been pinning their ears back the last few plays that Nelson had the ball. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do here with 56 seconds.
Oh, he's coming out throwing. He's throwing. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I would have put my money down on that one at least.
Yeah, they're not going to just go quietly into the night. They feel like they've owned, well, I won't say owned, but they feel like they've outplayed the Rams here in this first half. And they have a quarterback who they have complete confidence in, a 4-year starter, 56 seconds left in the half. I'm sure you've practiced this. They've had success on long plays, long bombs. Oh, gee. The Rams, Demarion Gates coming on the field late after his touchdown. And they're out of sorts.
Think about it. You had 2 players short, what ended up being on your fake punt. You had Kainoa Hayes run out late on the extra point, and now you've got Demarion Gates running out late to start this drive. That's 3 times now in 6 or 7 plays that the personnel wasn't ready to get on the field. Durdahl, quick shot to the outside as Boria, and Wade will tackle him inbounds at looks to be the 25-yard line. That'll be a first down. Clock will stop as they move the chains. 49 seconds remaining. Durdahl goes left, going through his progression. Staskowski broke through. There is going to be a flag for holding, and the pass will be completed, but it will be coming back. Boria made the catch at the 34-yard line, but you called it out, partner. It was pretty clear and obvious. There was a hold against Staskowski as the big man, the UW commit, was making his way up the middle.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do anything you can to preserve your quarterback. And right there, I can't see those numbers, but he just grabbed him around the waist and was like, "You're not getting through here, UW." It was almost a great tackle.
From the offensive lineman?
From the offensive lineman, yeah.
All right, so after holding on first down, ball will be put back at the 15-yard line, 1st and 20.
So now you have to start thinking about, are we going to try to throw this ball? Are we just going to?
I don't think so. I think they're going to take a knee. Now that formation is set up, Nelson will take the knee. And you said it just a couple moments ago. This was a half where it felt like Nelson really controlled the tempo, was making the big plays, taking advantage of penalties, and yet they find themselves down by 2 going into halftime with about 20 seconds left as these final few seconds tick away. They don't have to run a play. Play clock is about 8 seconds behind the game clock.
But they won't let them walk onto the other side of the ball, start walking off the field. But this is an example, you know, in our conversations, our pregame, we were talking about some teams that just know how to win. The Rams, the sign of a good team, one of the signs of a good team is, can you still win the game even though you're not playing your best? And they just won that first half, and I can guarantee you the coaching staff is not very happy with how they played.
They're not going to be happy, but in a sense they can look up and see that they're leading at halftime 14-12. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with the start of the second half. It's Bryan Sleik and James Broadous. We'll be back momentarily. Welcome back to Hillsboro Stadium. Just a couple minutes away from the start of the second half. 14-12, Central Catholic leads Nelson High School. It's Bryan Sleik and James Broadous on the call. James, you and I were talking right before we went off the air at halftime, but also during halftime, that it seemed like Nelson really seemed to control what was happening in this game. And you have one 4th down conversion on 4th and 18 on a fake punt, and it really changed that momentum in the final 2 minutes before halftime.
Right, they had, for all intents and purposes, they were in control. You know, you have the defending champs on the rope in the first quarter, 6-0. You're up 12-7 for the majority of that second quarter. I would say they were in control, but we do know that the Rams' offense is explosive. They have an explosive team. That's a special teams play right there that put them right back in the red zone, and then they go ahead and push it in, and it's a different ball game.
Well, you could say this is almost the game of special teams. 2 missed conversions for Nelson has them trailing by 2. They had their extra point blocked on their first touchdown, and then they went for 2 on their second one and came up short as they tried to use the big fellow Macon on a fullback dive, and he ended up a couple yards short.
Yeah, so special teams is important. You have to be sound at all 3 levels in football. And if you want to beat the Central Catholic Rams, you're going to have to be sound at all 3 levels. And that special teams, those 2 points are coming back to hurt Nelson at this time.
It'll be Daniel Miramon kicking off for Nelson. It'll be Gates and James Wade back to receive the kick.
The ball falls off the tee right there. The ball's a little cold too.
You see that they do that in the NFL now. They'll have a player come out and hold it, and then they have to sprint right off.
That dynamic kickoff is not very dynamic.
Not liking it so far. Gates takes it. He's going to cut across all the way across the field. He's got Wade, who could possibly set up a block, and instead he just kept getting out of the way. Gates will take it to about the 30-yard line before he was pushed out of bounds by Gunnar Byrne. It'll be 1st and 10 for Central Catholic at the 30-yard line.
Wade looked like he was maybe setting up for like a reverse or something, because he was facing Gates the whole time, like if he was going to run the ball to him, hand it off, and go around. But the play never materialized.
You took it from me last time. I'm not going to do anything for you this time. You know?
Exactly.
Bunch trips formation at the top. Long, the pitch to Davis to the outside. He's got the edge. Catawanga can't make the tackle. Staskowski will get called for either block in the back or a hold near the 35-yard line. I don't know if he necessarily needed to make an extra play right there, but that'll push the Rams back even more.
Yeah, no, he didn't, because that's one of those things when you look at it, the hold or the block in the back, we'll find out real quick here, but it didn't amount to anything. So now it's just a sort of a worthless penalty.
Yeah, there's going to be a block in the back on Staskowski. And that's unfortunate.
Because he was in good position. He was making a good block at first, but the defender just sort of got by him, and at that point you have to let up. I know you're trying to work hard for your teammates.
Well, it's hard for him. You don't know if your guy's going to go inside of you or outside of you, and he broke outside. The defender made a move, and you're just trying to play catch-up at that moment. It's like Kelsey and Gates are the receivers on the near side. Davis set up to the right of Robbie Long. Long looking over the middle. He's got some time. Rolls out to his right. Being chased by Macon, and he throws it away out of bounds into the Central Catholic sideline. And he'll live to play another down. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Good decision. You know, Landon Kelsey broke open at the last minute, but he's well behind the line of scrimmage. If he throws it to him, it's probably going to be another loss. Just throw that ball out of bounds, just like a veteran would.
You saw Dominic Macon chasing him down. That's a guy who ran a 13.1 100-meter dash for the track team.
Are you serious? This big fella, the 300?
That big fella, yeah.
Oh, man.
He can run you down in a hurry.
Yeah, he can run me down in a hurry.
trips right. Long, hesitation, trying to set up the screen. And they were looking for Davis, and a flag back by Robbie Long, and this could benefit the Rams. Long seems to be okay, more possibly annoyed that he got knocked down as he was slow to get up.
Tyson Davis comes off the field holding his shoulder.
Yeah, you don't like that look.
No. See.
Ty Newberry is the backup running back along with Cole Thomas. But yeah, he was trying to come out to be the receiver on that screen, and it looked like he got caught up by a couple of Nelson Hawks. Couldn't quite hear or see what the referee said. I'm guessing it was roughing the passer.
Yeah, roughing the passer, and this is going to be interesting because the referee's flag is still back there at the 10.
You're absolutely right.
And he's not going to want to go.
They just noticed it. The clock isn't going.
Okay,
we're not even 30 seconds into this half.
No.
Already had, what, 2 penalties? After the roughing the passer call, it's Cole Thomas as the running back next to Long. Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Gates in motion, gets the sweep pass, has Thomas out in front, making a couple of blocks, still on his feet, shirt ripped as he's still spinning around, getting away from defenders. And Boria finally pushes him down to the ground. Hold up, another flag back at the 35-yard line. It'll be a hold against Central Catholic. So I think we've had 3 plays, maybe 4 plays, and we've had 3 penalties.
I watched that play. I watched that whole block. It just wasn't a very good block. I'm not sure it was a hold per se, but it just wasn't a very clean block. I think the officials right now are just wanting to slow the game down for some reason. I don't know. But did you see Gates? He's out there on skates. We're gonna start calling him Demarion Skates. Demarion Skates. He's spinning around. He's up. He's down. He's left. He's right. He stops. He goes.
He easily made 5 different players miss right there.
He is not going down easily. He's one of those players that believe every time he touches the ball, he's supposed to score.
So 1st and 20 after the holding call. Davis is back in. They fake the handoff to him. Now they dump it off to Nicolaitis. He'll be tackled at the 30-yard line. No gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 20.
That was a slow developing play.
I think that was a delayed route from Nicolaitis, showing block at first and then seeing Long break out. You'd hope he'd be open in the flat. Nelson played that pretty well, I thought.
We've talked about watching film and scouting, and it looks like the Hawks have done their job as well. They are ready to play today.
Great position right now, having the Rams back at 2nd and 20. Long drops back, looking over the middle, softly throws, looking for Gates, and Catalonga had his hands all over him, and no flag was called. Gates, though, I'll give him credit. He didn't come up and start jawing at anybody, though. Even though I think he was worthy of having the flag thrown in his favor.
Right. He was on the ground doing the flag motion while he was on the ground, but once you realize he didn't call it, you need to get up and go play the next down.
You got to have that goldfish mentality.
Yeah.
Forget about that play. You got to move on to the next. 3rd and 20.
And of all the calls, all the flags that we've seen, I would have thought that there was one coming on that play.
Long throwing towards the hash mark, looking for Landon Kelsey, and that one falls incomplete. Brugado was on defense, but I think that ball was more uncatchable than anything else.
If Kelsey would have kept running, maybe he had an opportunity to catch it, but he sort of misjudged it, thinking that he was sort of planning, getting ready to jump up and sort of high point it. But had he kept running, he might would have had a chance to catch it. But that was great coverage.
So that'll bring up 4th and 20. You have to think the Hawks are going to stay put a bit more on this punt than what we saw at the end of the first half. Lundberg and Blanchette are the gunners. And Nelson's going to bring up Boria, who was back to receive the punt, and now there's nobody back for it. Ball lands at the 44-yard line, takes a Rams bounce down to the 35, and 34 is what will stop before Blanchette touches it.
Yeah,
about a 35-yard punt there for Kelsey.
And the Hawks, they pretty much played that like, look, we're happy that they're punting. The return doesn't mean that big a deal to us. We want to make sure we have the football. The only thing that can go bad is a fumble or something like that. So let's just move or another fake punt. So let's bring our returner up. We'll get the ball in pretty good field position. So a white shirt right there at the Central Catholic. What is that, his T-shirt?
Kainoa Hayes, yeah, that's his undershirt.
Oh, that's his undershirt.
The nose tackle right now for Central Catholic. Trips right. Durdahl sends a man in motion. It's a pop pass. Ivelia with it. Has it opening on the left side past the 40, and Cole Thomas will push him out of bounds. A flag is thrown back at the 33-yard line, though. Hudson Coe popped right up and started clapping his hands as if maybe he was the man. And got offended on that one.
This officiating crew, they don't move very fast. That's just like that. Speed is not one of their top priorities.
Had a little bit of trouble with some math as well.
Oh, yeah, well.
Holding on the Hawks, so that'll push back Nelson an extra 10 yards. So it'll be 1st and 20 from the 24-yard line. I think we've had more actual penalties than plays so far in this half.
If either team could clean up the penalty.
And you're going to get a false start right here. That's going to fall on number 7, Cooper Stevenson. He was leaning forward towards the line before that ball was snapped.
You know, I have a secret about what I coach. I coach basketball, high school basketball, but when the game is just blowing the whistle, sometimes you just don't even care if they're calling it for you. Just stop calling stuff. Just stop calling. So can the kids just play the game?
Can we get some flow,
Can
please?
we get some flow? That right there was a legal motion. We saw it. But I don't think anybody would have screamed it if you don't call that.
Fake the handoff across on high. Pass to Boria. Makes the catch at the 30-yard line. Picks up 3 more before Newberry and Wade were in on the tackle along with Asa Lundberg.
I've been impressed with the receivers of the Nelson Hawks. You know, they've been making some great plays, some good catches, using their hands, high pointing the ball, holding on to balls in tough areas.
Garlington, who was called for the false start earlier, back on the field now for Nelson, former Central Catholic Ram last season. Nearest receiver to us in that trips bunch formation. Avelia in motion. Furcher goes out. Durdahl looking to his left. It's a screen set up for Garlington. And he went absolutely nowhere. Coe, Newberry, and Wade all there quickly.
He even lost a yard or two. Yeah, that play went nowhere.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 12 from the 32-yard line. Durdahl looks to his right, and that's going to be intercepted by Landon Kelsey, the receiver. That's a 20, the 10, and that'll be a pick 6 for the two-way player for Central Catholic. Landon Kelsey just looked like a receiver and picked that one right out of the air. And it doesn't get much easier for the Rams defense.
You know why he looked like a receiver on that play? Because he is a receiver, B. He's right there, and he saw that ball come right out of the quarterback's hand, and you would think that the ball was meant for him. He picked it up, and he knows what to do with it once he gets it. 6.
Well, Landon Kelsey, usually the second string free safety, but came in on that play and gets the second interception against Dirtall this season and in this game.
Shows some of his versatility right there as well. Playing defense in big games, you have to have your best players on the field. And I know that the Rams, typically guys are playing one side of the ball, but in games like this, you will put your best players out there and they tend to make plays.
Well, the defense for Nelson, I think you could say, has really held up their end of the bargain. If you take a look at the interception return from Kelsey. Well, he had blockers out in front of him, too. A nice piece of play by him. But for Nelson, the defense on the season, they've been holding teams to just 15 points per game. I think they've done exactly that against Central Catholic. But it's 2 turnovers that have directly resulted in 14 points now for the Rams as they lead 21-12.
Turnovers will kill you in every sport. In every sport, in baseball, if you're making errors, you're gonna lose that game. In football, you're turning the ball over. Basketball, turning the ball over, it's gonna hurt you in all facets of the game, and that's what's happening right now.
Landgraf, while talking to him on the phone, always talks about having to win these 3 separate battles throughout the game. You got to win the penalties, you got to win the turnover margin, you have to win the explosive plays. I think you got the turnover and the explosive play on that last pass from Dirtall and the interception from Kelsey.
That's a pass that Dirtall should have never had thrown. That's just one of those, you can't understand why he would throw that. And the referee is testing his whistle again.
Not quite sure what happened there, but Blanchette had to come off the field.
And the referee was emphatically making him come off the field. He was not happy with something. Is that official that got knocked down earlier?
I think so.
Yeah, he hasn't been happy for a while.
7:50 left in the third quarter. Kind of been a snail's pace here in the second half, minus that pick 6.
That's a bad.
Catawanga let it bounce in front of the goal line, and Lundberg and Vercher will chase him out of bounds at around the 11-yard line. That's twice now we've seen the Hawks let that ball bounce. They thought it was going to go into the end zone, and both times it just sort of stopped inside the 5.
It's a bad strategy right there. You know, I think what they're basically saying is put your heels on the 5 and don't go behind it. And both times the ball just lands and bounces Central Catholic's way. They might want to rethink that strategy.
As I say, you're cutting off momentum. You have to go back, go get the ball. I mean, you're at least losing 5 yards by not just catching it initially.
Right. If you catch it initially, you're going to make it back to the 15 at least before somebody's going to be right there.
You would think.
You would think.
All right, so Nelson will take over. They trail by 9, so it's a 2-score game right now. Hand off to Crossland. Cut it back up the middle. Pike. And it looked like Hayes were there for the tackle.
The Hawks going to see if they can just get something going again. You know, they're still in this football game. And they have been moving the ball.
Especially with what their defense has been doing. You can feel confident if you can get a touchdown here to get the ball back and still have a 1-possession game.
Their best play has been the long ball. Get that ball in the air, and you can't get gun shy now that you just had 1 pick 6.
Dirtall looking for Boria. Puts it high in the air. Couple defenders are trailing him. It was Prama Harris and Cole Thomas on defense. And I don't think that Boria had much of a chance right there.
And you're trying for the big play, but there's 2 he's double covered over there.
And now we've got a late flag that just came in at the 38-yard line. I'm not quite sure, unless it's coming from the sideline of Nelson. And he's looking over in that direction. This might be a warning. Sportsmanlike on Nelson. And the offense is already just taking a few steps back.
So as a kid, you don't get to say, this is your fault, coach. But you can, there's a bunch of kids right now that want to say, this is your fault, coach. You've been talking to us about not getting penalties and all that, and we're already in our backed up against our end zone, and now here you are getting a sideline penalty. You're not helping us right now. You have to keep your cool in that situation. I know it seems like he's upset that they didn't call a pass interference, but on that's what you wanted pass interference on? That's what you decided to get a penalty for and back your team up. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, not a smart move. That'll make it half the distance to the goals. So 3rd and 14 at the 6-yard line for Nelson. They're backed up. Blitz put on by Central Catholic. Dirtall stands, keeps his ground. Pass was intended for Catawanga, and I think Ty Newberry wanted that interception badly.
Ty Newberry saw Landon Kelsey, and he went and did the same thing on the other side. He was about ready to take that to the house.
And you can just sort of feel that the sails, the wind and the sails of Nelson have just gone away. It doesn't seem like there's much energy from the crowd because they're right below us right now. We're not in our normal booth, so we've been getting a lot of their reactions. And there's not much going on right now from their stands. Their sideline seems pretty quiet as well, and this momentum just seems to be sucked out after that pick 6.
Yeah, that pick 6 was huge. In a game like this, every play of that magnitude can change the game, and that's exactly what Landon Kelsey brought to his team. Oh, boy.
And that'll be a safety. Let's add insult to injury. That snap goes over the punter's head. And now you're starting to see some of maybe the wheels starting to wobble a little bit on the car. Not quite falling off yet.
Just a wobble.
You know, you're down by 11, still a 2-score game technically, but you are giving the ball back to Central Catholic now.
So during the film, when you're watching the film tomorrow, tomorrow, somebody on that Nelson team just look over at your coach when this part comes up. Just look over at your coach and just sort of nod your head. Don't say anything, get yourself in trouble. But that penalty, that's a big penalty. That's 15 yards back. Now the snap goes over the head because it's just a little bit awkward. You know, they're concerned. I'm sure there's the long snapper's concerned about exactly that. You put them in a tight situation, and now the ball goes out of the end zone. Coach, I just don't think he did his team any favors in that situation.
And I don't know if that was Aaron Hazel per se, the actual head coach, or if it was one of the other coaches, because it looked like Hazel was near the 30-yard line. The flag was thrown back near the 40. But without being able to go back and look, we won't know for sure. Now with the safety, it's not like the NFL. You don't have to punt the ball. You have the option to kick it or punt it.
Ty Hill will make the free kick for Nelson.
Wade and Gates back to receive the kick. Their heels are at the 30-yard line. Another squib. Gates will take it on the up hop at the 50-yard line. Still on his feet. Squeaks away from one. Shiftiness. Still on the sideline and going and taken out of bounds at the 32-yard line on the sideline of Nelson. The skates were out again.
He's just out there like, how can I move the crowd? He reminds me of, it puts me in the mind of Barry Sanders.
Oh, yeah?
You know, Barry Sanders, a great Detroit running back, Hall of Famer, one of my favorite players of all time. He just is not going to be settled for just 1 or 2 yards.
And you don't like to see that. A bit of a hobble from him as he was getting off the field. Here's the replay of it, though. The initial breakthrough, the middle of that kick return. And again, you've got 2-3 different Hawks that are right there, and he's just able to make them all miss. Yeah.
He's buttery.
He can make you miss your punches in a phone booth, I bet. Nicolaitis in motion. Long will roll out to his right. Had Kelsey for a moment in the flat. Excuse me, that was Nicolaitis. And instead he throws it out, and Long took a big hit right there. He's a bit slow to get up.
You've been talking about it all night. The Hawks defense has been on point. They have made things difficult for the Rams. And they're still out there. They're still doing their thing. Now they just got to hope the offense catches up. But they've been doing their part in this battle. See if the Rams can unhitch a big play.
I wouldn't be shocked. Maybe you go to Tyson Davis right here, break it up, get a run play, pick up 3-4 yards.
Yeah, he's got that posture of getting the ball.
Still pumping those legs, but only got back to the line of scrimmage. Some chippiness in on that tackle, and I don't know if Staskowski's the guy you want to go up against.
No, you don't. You don't. But, you know, if you're going to be up on that line or you're going to be coming from your linebacker or your safety position, you better be ready to get hit. And that's always cause for some chippiness, but that's what happens up there in the trenches. Not everybody is used to it.
It's 3rd and 10 from the 33-yard line. This has to be 4-down territory for Central Catholic with the short field. So you don't have to get all 10 yards right here. Screen pass out to Blanchette. Got a couple of blockers out in front of him. Makes one man miss at the 30, and he'll be tackled at the 29-yard line. Tackle's going to be made by number 16, Cal Gradwall, excuse me.
It's like the Rams have made up their mind that this was going to be 2-down territory. So you can make this 4th and manageable. You didn't have to get it all in one play, and that looks like what they did.
That'll be 4th and 6 from the 29-yard line. It's a tight formation.
I believe there'll probably be some motion.
Curtis in motion. Long looks to his right. And mistake. Threw it right at the defender. There's 2 flags back at the 40-yard line. And the interception will be credited to Tanner Sachs, provided that the play stands, and I think it might, but Long had a bit of panic right there. Didn't hit the initial guy that he wanted, then had to roll out.
And then it set in on him that, hey, this is 4th down. I can't take the sack. So you throw it and hope for the best. I felt like he had an opportunity to roll out to the left and try to maybe get on the outside. But that little hole shut down quickly, and this wasn't any area to pass. That's one of those coverage sacks.
Yep. That's exactly what the Nelson defense needed, though. They get the turnover. Still 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. You heard me correctly. Still the 3rd quarter.
Let me call my wife. We're going to be here for a while.
Oh, we know what happened the last time we were here at the flag party here. It's almost a 3-hour full game, it felt like. Empty formation for Dirtall. Quarterback draw up the middle. Makes Newberry miss. Lowers his shoulder and met at the 29-yard line by Lundberg.
It's a nice 1st down play. It's basically one of those, just keep the defense honest. You can't forget about me back here.
Yeah, you can spread them out. With the empty backfield, you think it's going to be a pass play, and then you run a draw up the middle.
Something that we have not seen since like the 1st quarter, maybe even the 1st drive.
Have designed run plays. I think we've only seen 1 or 2 since the opening drive for Nelson. 2nd and 2. Another quarterback keeper, Dirtall. Hop skipping his way forward, and he'll get the 1st down, tackled at the 38-yard line. on the tackle was Paul Mars. Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 38.
Little eye candy there on that motion. Just another, new quarterback?
Yeah, new quarterback in. Hand off to Crossland. It was Pike who came around the edge, making the initial contact, gain of only 1 yard on the play. And that's Leary, the backup quarterback. I don't see Dirtall at the moment on the sideline. He's right next to the head coach. So Leary will get this play. 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Quick pass, caught by Stevenson. And James Wade will make the tackle. Pickup of about 5 on that play. That'll make it 3rd and 3 as Dirtall back out on the field. Bit of a mix-up right there.
Right, it was interesting. Maybe he just had this package that they wanted to run for him, and
Crossland doesn't know which side to line up on. Ivalia in motion. Dirtall will keep it. Goes to the left. Staskowski dives and misses. Cole Thomas comes up to make the tackle. Kainoa Hayes followed it up. That'll be enough for a 1st down as the chains move again. 1st and 10 from the 48 of Central Catholic as the time will continue to tick down. 2:10 left in the 3rd.
this drive reminds me a lot of that first drive of the game. You know, they've sort of diversified their offense a little bit, started to run the ball with the quarterback, mix up a few little screen passes. And at some point, you know, they're going to try to go deep.
Crossland spins out of 1 tackle. Thomas misses, and Donnie Vercher comes in from the far side to make the tackle after a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Oh, and the crowd is not happy. This Hawk crowd is upset, thinking there was some extracurricular after the play, after the whistle was blown. Some of that is just tackle football.
It's a physical game.
It's a physical game.
Crossland will get the handoff again. Cuts back inside under the guard. Payout and Thomas make the tackle, and another 1st down on the ground. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line.
Crossland is running well here in this late in the game, you know.
And you got Leary back into the game now as the quarterback, Dirtall, stepping off.
I don't believe he will be throwing the ball.
Crossland is running hard right here on this drive. 3 different pickups of at least 5 yards. I believe he got 5 there. He did. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 29-yard line.
So Dirtall is just getting a few breathers, you know, just some intermittent breathers here. He's been running the ball a lot this drive, so they pull him out every now and then, get him a play or two, but you're running in and out of that sideline, so you're running to the far hash mark. So you're still not getting as much breath as you.
And they call his number. Kainoa Hayes not fooled. Juking back and forth. The big man falls on him. But Dirtall, if he doesn't get the 1st down, it'll be 1st and 10 for Nelson. Inside the 25, looks like it's at the 23-yard line. And that'll end the 3rd quarter. 23-12, Nelson is driving as they try to make this a 1-score game as we head to the final 12 minutes. 3rd quarter James, correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like that was mainly all Central Catholic. A couple nice defensive plays by Nelson, don't get me wrong, but the momentum sort of shifted towards the Rams, and the pick six was a big reason why.
You know, it seems to me, I sort of comparing it to like a championship prize fight. You know, that round right there was controlled for the most part by the Rams, but late in that round, the Hawks started throwing some nice punches and getting some of that momentum back as they go into the next round. And for here, it's the fourth quarter. And the Hawks, they showed some life. There was a moment in there where I sort of felt like they might have thrown the towel and the momentum has swung, but they're showing some heart here on this last drive, keeping this interesting.
Yeah, it's incredibly important for Nelson to get a touchdown on this drive. Can't waste an opportunity when you're getting the ball inside the 30-yard line against Central Catholic.
And I don't believe they have a lot of confidence in their kicker, so you have to score a touchdown.
And they're going to open up the fourth quarter with an empty formation. And now Crossland will come into the backfield.
Which I think would be a quarterback keeper. Oh.
Crossland go between the guard and the center. Got through the initial line, and then he got pushed back. Payao and Thomas were there. Pickup of 2. That'll be 2nd and 8 from the 21-yard line.
You know, they're committed to the run in this drive. They are committed to that run.
I think they've only thrown one pass, and it was this screen to the wide receiver. And it wasn't even Dirtall that threw it. It was Leary.
Yeah. So somewhere up top in the booth, somebody has seen something that says, hey, we need to run the ball. The Rams defense has to stand up.
Dirtall keeps it. Kainoa Hayes all over him, and a flag will come in on the far side. That was so fast. I'm not sure if they will call holding, but that's usually what that means, middle of the play, near the line of scrimmage. But Hayes just broke through that line in a heartbeat.
Face mask. They're calling face mask. Clearly we can't see everything, but that play, like you said, that play we got blown up so fast. I couldn't see the face mask, and I'd be surprised if it was on Kainoa Hayes or if it was off the ball.
No inadvertent face mask.
Inadvertent. I don't think.
Aren't they always inadvertent?
Aren't they all inadvertent?
Nobody's trying to grab the face mask. Either way, it's not a first down, though. 2nd and 2. Dirtall looking to his right, looking for one of his receivers, and it'll fall empty. Looked like it was Deacon Beard he was looking for. Nelson fans want a flag.
They want all the flags. That ball was uncatchable. There was some incidental contact.
I mean, the window's open. You want to tell them?
Oh. Nah. A couple mean-looking guys down there.
It's the last thing we need, somebody popping up in the booth. 3rd and short on the 15-yard line. No doubt this will be 2-down territory, or 4-down territory, I should say.
This has to be a run play.
Dirtall keeps it himself. Bounces to the outside, flag thrown at the 4, dives, looking for the pylon. Trying to see who denied him that access. Looked like Prama Harris, and it was. We'll see what the flag is back on the 13-yard line, and it'll go against Nelson.
There's been a lot of holding going on. Or there's been a lot of holding being called. Haven't seen this much holding since the prom.
I was going to say honeymoon phase?
All right.
23-12, 11:04 remaining in our contest.
Ooh, now it's 3rd and long.
3rd and 12 after the holding penalty. Dirtall's going deep. Ivalia is there, and it's Kelsey with an interception at the 3-yard line. The third interception against Dirdahl. He's got an opening down the sideline. He's got one man to make miss, cuts it back inside, and he could return it all the way. 97-yard interception return for a touchdown. Landon Kelsey, his second pick six of the evening.
Wow, you get one pick six a year, maybe two for a career, but two in the same game. Landon Kelsey, big-time players make big-time plays on big-time days.
He was playing safety, and that high arcing pass for Ivalia. We saw it work out for Nelson for their second touchdown of the evening, but that time it just hung up too high, and Kelsey, the smart player that he is, and the quickness that he has, able to make it over to the sideline and pick it off. And then he had the large opening down the sideline, had blockers out in front of him. He returned it 97 yards for the pick six. The extra point is up, and it is good. And it'll be 30-12 now. Here's another look. See, picked off at the 3. And all the Nelson offense was on the far hash, and they had to run to the near side. Stevenson tried to cut him off, but Kelsey, he understands the angles, cuts it back inside.
You know, and that's one of those, when you're running a formation like that and you get an interception from the safety, all that he has to beat is linemen, because all the receivers are already downfield. Now all he has to do is beat linemen, and I'm going to take Landon Kelsey in that foot race 100 out of 99 times.
Normally, go ahead.
One of the things that I've seen that has sort of changed here from the second half to the first half, those long plays that Nelson had made, there wasn't a safety over the top, you know. But now here in the second half, you see that they put Landon Kelsey back there. Dirdahl can throw the football, but he's not doing a very good job of sort of moving the defense, moving the safeties with his eyes. He's pretty much locking in on a receiver, and Landon Kelsey is back there basically playing receiver on the defense.
It's 23 unanswered points now for Central Catholic. They were trailing 12-7 at one point. All right. So we're gonna have a re-kick.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't be a game, wouldn't be a play without the ref, the flag.
Oh yeah, there it is, back at the 40, far side. Yeah, normally Landon Kelsey's doing kickoffs, but he gets the breather right now after returning at 97 yards. He's going to have to go back out on defense.
So he's got a 97-yard pick six. He's got a 40.
I was going to say like 38.
38-yard pick six. He's got a 66-yard fake punt run. This guy has been big plays all day.
Martinez Ibarra puts it in the air. Catawanga will take it. Hands it off to Boria at the 30. Gates. Looked like he got held. Excuse me, not Gates. Curtis got held for a moment. No flag, though.
No flag?
Yeah, I know. Believe it or not. Boria, though, gets pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Nelson. But, yeah, Curtis tried to cut towards the sideline. That's where the ball carrier was going, and the guy who was blocking him sort of dropped to his knees and then kept him between the arms. Couldn't let him out, and it was completely missed. .10:28 remaining in our contest. Dirdahl is still the quarterback. Crossland will be the running back next to him. Dirdahl came into today, no interceptions on the season. Now he's got 3. Delayed handoff doesn't work for Nelson. Who else other than the big man, Kainoa Hayes? PJ Tautu also in on the action. Talking to Coach Landgraf, he talked very highly of Tautu, the true freshman right tackle. I asked him on the phone, and I said, you know, it's not often you have a true freshman starting at one of your tackle positions. He goes, Bryan, one of the first practices, we were doing the Christmas tree drill, just drop, step, kick out. And I saw what he was doing with his footwork, and I knew that he was special. He was going to be starting for us on the offensive line.
Yes, it's not often you get a freshman starting on that line, like I said, but it's also not often that you get a 6'3", 250-pound freshman walk through your doors either. I don't know what the Christmas tree drill is, but
it drops. You do the drop kick and then slide out as if the defender was coming at you. So you do pass protection, then you slide like you were running, like a run block.
So why do they call it a Christmas tree?
Because it resembles the Christmas tree as you kick out. Like the branches of the tree as if you were drawing it like a toddler.
I see. Yeah, okay.
I'm no artist, but that's how I make my trees.
Right. Are there any cookies under that tree or anything?
No, not this time. Dirtall will keep it after the fake handoff. Bounces it outside as the edge. And it's James Wade again coming up from his cornerback position to make the open field tackle like a missile going at the legs of Dirtall.
Dirtall he looked like he was doing the Christmas tree drill. He just kept sliding to the left, sliding to the left, sliding to the left. He wasn't really advancing the ball, and James Wade just got tired of seeing all that and just came and took his legs out. Wade has made some great open field tackles today.
It's a reverse. Boria looked like he was going to throw it for a second. Nicolaitis can't make the tackle, although I think he'll be the one that ends up with it. Newberry got a hand on him, but Boria was already falling down. Nelson tried to throw some trickeration in there, but the penetration from Central Catholic blew that one up. 2nd and 10 from the 46.
And your guy is back in the game. Looks like Leary is back at QB.
Danny Leary. Leary, there was a pass. Swing pass intended for Ivalia. Wade making sure that no pass was caught there.
Wade was really intent on, like you said, making sure that no pass was completed. Had he been looking at the ball, maybe hawking the ball a little more, he too could have had himself a pick six.
Yeah, they were playing off there. Leary's still in. I'm wondering at this point in the game if Dirtall will still come back in. I mean, trailing by 18 points at the moment. Timeout taken by Nelson. As I believe I'm getting that smell of caramel corn now up here.
Somebody selling
Kettle corn, yeah. They're usually behind us, I think. So with 8:02 remaining, 30-12 lead for Central Catholic. For Nelson, what would you like to see them do? We saw that they've had success on the ground, but time is working against you at this point. You only have 8 minutes left in this game.
Well, and if I remember correctly, on the play that James Wade came up and tackled Dirtall.
He came up a little ginger.
He came up gingerly, so he is probably over on the side getting treatment. So now you have the youngster in, and you give him an opportunity to see what he has. You might as well just continue to try to play your regular offense. And
Dirtall standing next to Hazel at the moment. Nicolaitis around the edge. Leary steps up and almost had a catchable ball, but both Nelson players took a big hit in Leary and Ivalia. So Dirtall will come back into the game now. A lot of people came into this game thinking that this was going to be the one that decided the Mount Hood Conference. Nelson was only a 2-point away from being 5-0 coming into this game. They dropped the opening game of the season to Wilsonville, who's number 5 in the state right now at the 5A level. High pass for Garlington. Takes him out of bounds, and Prama Harris on defense. And that'll lead to the turnover on downs. Central Catholic will take over on their own 46-yard line.
Prama Harris is really excited right now, and he should be. That's a great defensive play. Pretty much shuts the door right there on the drive particularly, but probably on this football game right here.
Seems like Central Catholic, if you want, you could probably run a few plays here, and by run, I mean literally run a few plays and milk this clock for a bit. Davis will take it, bounces it to the edge on the sweep play. Stays in bounds, smart play right there to keep the clock going. Let's see if he stayed in bounds though. Got the first down. Beard was the first man to try to make a tackle. He dove and missed, and the clock is still running, so that means Davis stayed in bounds. It'll be 2nd and 1. If you can even call it one, seems like 2nd and inches.
Tyson Davis is a great player to have when you're trying to milk the clock. Because like we said, he runs hard, but he also can break one to the house. So
they'll give it back to Davis. Goes outside the tackle and is caught from behind. Making the tackle was Tanner Sachs. That's enough for a first down. Clock will continue to move as we're at 6:50. First down on the 39-yard line.
there's no rush to snap this ball. They'll probably wait till the play clock gets underneath 10.
Yeah, they just broke the huddle, and there's 13 on the play clock. Just inside zone, outside zone, whatever you need it to be. Keep it simple. And it's a miscommunication. Ball's out. And I believe he flipped that forward. That should be incomplete, but the bag came out. And yeah, there we go. The back judge is saying an incomplete pass. They did make the right call, but a rare blunder right there from Robbie Long. A bit of panic. Was going to hand it off, and he ran into Davis.
And the Hawk sideline is not happy. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. That was a great call, B. He stepped back and sort of panicked. And
yeah, you see it right there. McGregor, the center, just got pushed right back into him. There's a good mesh point. And Davis will be tackled for a loss. Sachs was in on the tackle. Along with Porter Masig. That'll make it third down, 3rd and 13 to be exact, from the 42-yard line. Just about 2 minutes already off the clock since Central Catholic has taken over on downs. Passing on 3rd and long. Long will roll out to his right. I'm not quite sure. I think he flipped that out. I didn't see where that ball ended up. Did he run out of bounds with it?
yeah, he was.
Okay, he did run out of bounds with it. Didn't see him initially with the ball when he came back out onto the field.
You know, if you're able to think this fast, if you're running out of bounds moving forward, the clock will stop. If you're moving backwards, the clock will run. Well, it is in the NFL. I'm not completely sure here in high school football, but my thought being, when you're running out of bounds, you know you're not going to throw. Hey, go backwards. So just go ahead and go out of bounds, and you keep that clock running.
Instead, the clock is stopped with 5 seconds left. It's 4th and 12. And Long just gets the snap off in time. Goes out towards the sideline, and the catch is made by Landon Kelsey. Still on his feet and brought down at the 20-yard line. Making the tackle is Porter Masig.
Landon Kelsey is selling big plays tonight. If you need a big play, find your way to Landon Kelsey.
Correction, Macieg is the one who made the tackle. Yeah, Kelsey, it's been his game, I would say. Not a lot of passing yards necessarily from Central Catholic today. At least not here in the second half. But you haven't really needed to. You've had 2 pick sixes, so the offense hasn't been on the field all that much. Davis gets the toss. Still moving with his feet, going forward. Tackled at the 14-yard line by Tanner Brand.
It's Tyson Davis doing what Tyson Davis does. He just keeps moving the crowd, and he falls forward.
I just love the way that he runs because it's hard at all times. His legs never stop. And he takes care of the football, too. He's trying to get that extra yard, but he's not compromising the football.
No.
Trips right, set up, tight end on the left side of the formation. Another handoff to Davis. Outside zone to the left. Lets one man go by. He's going to try to take it to the end zone, and he will. Steps in just in front of the pylon. In front of Tanner Sachs. And we've seen multiple Rams players. They're seeing the Nelson player put their head down, and they just let him go right by.
Yes, when you come in with your head down, you know, they teach head up, eyes up, see what you're hitting. But if you come in with your head down, that tells the offensive player right there that he can't see you. And Tyson Davis has twice stepped aside, right down the sideline. He shows his speed, his power, and his balance.
It looked like that last defender tried to trip Davis before he got in.
He tried the old soccer sweep your foot move.
Which also would have been a flag for tripping.
It should have been a flag for attempting the trip. That's not good football. That's not clean football. You know, one of the things that, and I think now the second half it may have changed a little bit, but when you look at the stat sheet, a lot of times people want to get the identity of the game, what happened in the game, and they'll go look at time of possession. This game is not, the story is not going to be told by the time of possession. It looked like Nelson would have won the time of possession, but like we've said, the Rams scored on 2 pick sixes. They've had the long play at the end of the first half. Those plays don't take a long time, you know, and so just one of those misnomers. The time of possession does not always tell the story. If you're scoring fast, you may have the ball 20 minutes less than the other team.
I mean, think about it. That's 14 points for Central Catholic where they weren't on offense. And you talked about that fake punt that ended up converting on 4th and 18, and then they scored with a minute left. That whole drive in itself took 90 seconds, so you've got 3 scores, 90 seconds total. And now that Landon Kelsey didn't return a pick 6, he'll have the opportunity to kick off.
There you go. Get back to your kickoff duties.
That's a good leg right there. Taken at the 2-yard line. Makanawanga cuts into the middle between the hash marks and met at the 15-yard line. I almost said Cade Galen. I'm so used to him being number 20. It was Colin Cotton. Galen, of course, graduated last year.
I remember how he made big plays as well. Somebody better get that kicking tee that's out there.
Where's the dog when you need him?
Oh, yeah.
You've seen those dogs on the sideline. They run out and
right.
grab it and run right back. So Dirtall will be the starting QB on this drive. He's got 3 minutes and 40 seconds to orchestrate a drive down to the end zone. Over the middle. Ivalia makes the catch. Cole Thomas comes from behind and makes the tackle at the 29-yard line.
Nice toss right there by Dirtall. He sort of looks like Russell Wilson back there.
Is it the number 3?
Picked up the T. Just the stature, the number exactly. I wonder if he has this.
He kind of has that long motion when he throws too. You can see the comparison. Slow snap. Quick throw out to the flats, and Prama Harris all over it as the catch is made by Deacon Beard.
That's that closing speed right there. He broke on that ball.
Excuse me, that was Cal Gradwall, number 16. 6 and the 0, hard to tell the difference on these uniforms. Dirtall looking, goes over the middle, and Ivalia gets met by Landon Kelsey, and 2 different flags come in. And I'm wondering if this is because it was a hit on a defenseless receiver as he was trying to make the catch. I thought that was just a good play. Shoulder contact, too. I didn't see him make head-to-head contact.
He caught the ball, and he hit him with his shoulder. That's football.
Exactly.
That's tackle football. I don't know what else you're supposed to do. He let him catch the ball, and then he ran into him.
It's like that old video of how to sack the quarterback. You got to pick him up, gently put him down, put the blanket over him, pillow under his head. Yeah, that just looked like a football play to me.
I don't think there was anything malicious about that play.
It was a big hit, but nothing outside the rules of football.
If he would have came and wrapped him up, would that have been a penalty? Because he could have easily wrapped him and then fell on him, but he just knocked him down.
Screen set up for the tight end,
what's wrong with that?
and Ty Newberry delivers the blow with his shoulder.
That play was more violent than the last play. I guess maybe because he's running with the football.
Brody Austin made the catch. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, partner.
Yeah.
A little over 2 minutes remaining in this contest. 2nd and 9 at the 39-yard line. Dirtall looks left. Now he's looking over the middle. Rolls out to his left. Hits a man in the flat. And Garlington, and he just dropped the ball. Made the catch, tried to make a football move, and ended up dropping it. And I think they're going to call this one incomplete.
Yes, incomplete. You wonder what 2 hard hits will do for your team?
Create some fear in the opposition.
Create some fear in the opposition. He just saw Landon Kelsey make a big hit. Then we saw
Ty Newberry
make a big hit.
Coe comes in off the edge, just bullying that left tackle.
Oh, boy.
And that ball looked uncatchable. Now they're going to call a flag on James Wade. Gradwall was the intended receiver. And I don't know if that ball, I just said it, I don't know if that ball was catchable.
It wasn't catchable, and that contact was not. All you have to do is fall down now.
And I feel like that ball was past the receiver anyways by the time Wade made contact.
Coaches need to just start sending their kids to the auditorium for acting classes and teach them how to draw penalties, because this is, this is the new football. You just throw the ball in the air, and if you can't catch it, throw your arms up.
Here, you get a look at it. The ball's already past him, and then you get a tiny nudge. 1:56 remaining, 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Dirtall, pump fakes, rolls out to his left near the sideline, sticks the ball out at the sticks as Vercher forced him out of bounds.
Nobody home, nobody open right there. And good coverage.
Dirtall has his 3 interceptions today, but talking to Aaron Hazel earlier in the week, he's thrilled with the progression of Dirtall from the first year that he was the starting quarterback. He was one read and then tuck and run, and we've seen it a couple times here tonight. He's trying to make his progressions to 2 to 3 down. Now he drops the ball as he drops back, picks it back up, rolls out to his right. Newberry leaves his man, and would have been a great catch if his foot was down. Are they going to mark it in? And I think they are. Fantastic catch by the tight end, Ian Nix, tiptoeing that sideline. Oh, that was late development, too. Newberry was the man that was covering Nix and then broke off to go after the quarterback, Dirtall.
Yeah, Dirtall just extended the play as long as he could, right before he got out of bounds. Found his receiver Sort of looked like what we saw Lamar Jackson do this last weekend.
Hand off to Gandert and stopped immediately. Cooper Stevenson has had a rough day down at the line. Yeah. Nothing against him. He's just been hit a couple of times while trying to make a block. And he certainly wore one right there on that last play.
And Stakowski, he's always involved in something. I don't just he's after the play or the end of the play, somebody's going to go flying if Stakowski is in the play. He plays all the way through the whistle. Never dirty, just plays to the whistle.
Almost got his paw on that one. Oh, a terrific hit by Ty Newberry. From the linebacker position, the hit stick on Cooper Stevenson wrapped him up and brought him to the ground.
The old hit stick. Great play. And I will compare it back to what we saw a little bit ago. And I just don't see what that's football. That's tackle football. He caught the ball and then he got tackled. And I don't understand why the other one was a penalty, but hey, if that's how they call it, you just have to adjust.
Nelson called a timeout. That's their second one of this half. There's 45 seconds remaining in this contest. 37-12, and this game was a lot closer than what this score indicated. I think you could say the same thing with that Clackamas game as well from a couple weeks ago for Central Catholic, even though at the end it ended up being about a 20-point difference. Clackamas was still a very good football team and kept it close. And Nelson, defensively, again, I thought they played a great game against the offense for Central Catholic. Unfortunately, 3 turnovers really hurt the Hawks, including actually all 3 of them ended up turning into points. And there's another interception. This time to James Wade at the 14-yard line. He made the interception, and there's a flag, though, back at the 24-yard line.
Zach, my guy, Zach Stakowski. Zach Stakowski. After the play, he sees his man gets the interception, and now he turns to block, and he ended up blocking the quarterback, which is probably called blocking a defenseless offensive.
Here, you'll see it right
guy
here.
Who threw the interception.
So you see the interception. It wasn't as big of a hit as I thought it might be. Durdahl did sort of skate the initial touch, but lost his balance. But that happened after the interception, so that play should stand.
Yes, it should stand. The officials out there, they
I don't know if they quite know what's happening.
They don't know which way to point.
Nope.
It almost looked like
There we go.
a bad dance routine.
36 seconds left on the clock.
It's a tough game out here to officiate. I make fun of them, but I wouldn't want to do it.
No.
That's for sure. I would not want to do it. A lot of respect for these guys. The Rams, though, they will have to clean up these penalties if they are, and I know they're planning on making a march towards the state championship game. The deeper in the playoffs, the bigger the games, the more meaningful games. You can't have these many penalties if you want to beat the Westlands, you want to beat the Lake Oswego's.
And talking with Coach Landgraft, he said the penalties have been an issue. Some of it is fatigue at moments in games. The other times it's guys trying to make a big play, and his exact quote was, hey, we don't need to have a decleat block right here. Just make a solid block, and that's all we need. And sometimes the physicality comes across as too much, and they get the flag. As the final whistle blows, it's 37-12. Central Catholic extends their Mount Hood Conference winning streak to 29 straight games as they move to 6-0 and 4-0 in the Mount Hood Conference. And James, before we sign off, any final thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, the Rams, we talked about earlier in the game or earlier before the game that some teams just know how to win. And the Rams are one of those teams that even when they're not playing well, they still know how to pull out victories. Again, good credit, much credit to the coaching staff. They've continued to build on this legacy that has been established, and they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Well, that's James Broadous. I'm Bryan Sleik. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Central Catholic Rams football on Oregon Sports Beat. We'll catch you next time in a couple of weeks when the guys are back in action here at Hillsboro Stadium when they take on Nelson High School, or excuse me, David Douglas High School on the 25th. We'll catch you back then. I'm Bryan Sleik. Again, that was James Broadous. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe. We'll catch you next time. About the mystique that is Central Catholic, and talking to his team says, hey, we have to focus on just the 11 guys on the field right now. It's Dirtall, big opening on the right side. He's past the 40-yard line, and he's chased down from Dirtall. It's weird to call him a veteran, but he's a 4-year starter for this team. We had a chance to watch him a couple of years ago. Pressure up the middle by Pike. Causes Dirtall to break out to his left. And James Wade.
He needed some lotion. Maybe his ass.
Mix in motion. Dirtall. Screen pass. And he's got his man. It's Payau who will take him down at the
Staying this for 4 quarters because we know the Rams are coming.
Running back in motion. Dirtall looking deep towards the sideline, looking for Catawanga. And there was some hand fighting there, and you're going to get a flag.
Your playmakers.
Davis is the running back. Off left. Of long. Davis will get it. Stiff arms one man, bounces to the right side, cuts back in. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Payau, 6'2", 300, right next to him. Man in motion for Nelson. Dirtall will pass. He's going towards the sideline. And I can't tell if that ball came out, and Wade makes the catch.
If you just started watching him play, you would not know that he's not a 3 or 4 year starter.
It's a handoff to Boria, and the Rams are not fooled. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 10-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Crossland at about 4 back to the left of Dirtall. Goes to his right. He's going to throw towards the sideline, looking for his man, and the catch is going to be made by Avelia. Kelsey can't make the catch. Cole Thomas at the top of the screen.
Who's covering the slot? Kansas City.
It's Austin in motion. Deep pass towards the corner of the end zone, and dropped it perfectly. And they've got their big defensive lineman, Dominic Macon, as the running back. They're going to hand it off to Macon, and he's still on his feet. Rams are trying to deny him. He's still churning those legs, and eventually Kelsey rolling out to his left. He's got a big opening. He can take it if he wants, and he will. He's at the 40, and he's got enough for the first down. He's still going. He's got blockers out in front of him. Puts it back towards the middle of the field, and he'll 18. Heck of a pickup for Central Catholic. You sort of feel the momentum.